Welcome back to Therapuss. Happy Valentine's Day. Sorry, I am so cold. It is very cold and rainy in Los Angeles, but you know, we need the rain. It's a good thing. So thank God. I am once again single this Valentine's Day. I've never experienced a Valentine's Day taken. But Peyton and I are going to go out to dinner with the kids, so we're really excited. February is always a tough month. February is always like, where's March, is how I feel about February. I've also never, once again, experienced Valentine's Day enjoyably. So, oh, no, that's a lie. I'm sorry. I always have my Galentine's Day, but I've never had like an actual Valentine's Day.
Side note, is that a video I sent you of Tucker?
Real? No. Oh my God. I have seen so many people fall victim to AI recently. It's like actually alarming. And like I feel like I'm pretty good at like calling out AI, but like Louise sent me a video yesterday that like I'll play it right here, and she was like, "Is this real? Were you high?"
No, like it just seems so realistic.
No, it's not. You guys, that's the scary part about AI. It's like, God, AI is not right. But I feel like I can call out AI pretty quickly. But no, I've been seeing a lot of people be like, "Look how cute this is." I'm like, "That's AI."
What was the video?
Tucker kissing me on the cheek.
Oh, really?
Like I swear that happened.
No, Tucker would never show me affection like that. We go on tour very soon. We've actually spent the past few weeks planning the show. Matt flew in. Should we call him?
I was on the phone, Jake. Jesus. What's wrong?
Nothing. I just wanted to say hi. You're on Therapuss.
Oh, hi. Jesus, Jake. Why do you do this to me?
What's up?
Nothing. I just rushed my mortgage girl off the phone because I thought the world was burning because I get 3 calls in a row. Usually it's only 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Buying a house.
That laugh was harder than it should have been. I didn't find
Legit. That's what I'm doing.
What's up with you?
Nothing, man. Nothing. Just the same old, you know? Is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
You sure there's nothing else?
Okay, goodbye, Matt. Love you.
All right, love you.
So, once again, tickets for my tour are on sale at passthatpuss.com. I'm so excited to get back on the road. Yeah, I can't fucking wait. It's going to be amazing. I think that I was at my happiest when I was on tour, meeting everyone and hanging out and making people laugh in person, and it's just my favorite thing in the world. So I'm really excited. For Valentine's Day, we have a Valentine's Day Therapuss special with the coolest person in the world, as I like to say, the editor-in-chief of Cosmopolitan and 17 magazine, Willa Bennett, former editor-in-chief of High Snobiety. She is seriously, like, I just feel so uncool around her. But then I also, at the same time, feel cool by association. She is just so smart, and she's so talented, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to know her. She recently just put out her first issue with Cosmopolitan. Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song are the cover stars. It's seriously incredible. It's like a new era for Cosmo. It's so cool. I'm so excited for you guys to get to know her more. If you don't already, she's awesome. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you pussies more than anything. Enjoy the episode. Hi, pussies. Welcome back to Therapuss. If you're Sorry. Hi, pussies. Welcome back to Therapuss. If you're noticing, I'm looking a little extra fashionable today. That's because we have my dear friend, current editor-in-chief of Cosmopolitan and 17 and former editor-in-chief of High Snobiety, the one, the only, Willa Bennett.
Hi, Jake.
I think you're the coolest person in the world.
So nice. Wow.
I do. I really do.
Look at your outfit.
I know. I did it just for you.
You're wearing Miu Miu. Look at these Dior sneakers.
Thank you.
You are so cool.
Thank you. Like, I didn't want to call it out. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Do you remember the first time we met, actually?
We met at the Tommy Hilfiger show.
Yes. From afar.
No, but we were Instagram friends like a week before.
Wow. Okay, you're really good. That was really impressive. Yeah.
We were
You were
Instagram,
sitting across from me.
and we were like waving at each other, and then like I thought you were cool, and then Louise was like, "Holy fucking shit! Do you know you're on Willa Bennett's story?" Yeah, and I was like, "Wait, that's what my new Instagram friend." She was like, "No, you actually don't understand. You're on Willa Bennett's Instagram story."
So nice. No, we were like across from each other and we were like, wink, wink, hey,
Yes,
hey, hey.
yes.
Then I was like, you like pop music? And you were like, I love pop music. And then we walk out and literally everyone's screaming like, Jake Shane, Jake Shane.
That was the best. When I tell you that was the best, I don't think I've had a moment since then that's felt as good as that night. First of all, that show was so sick. Who performed again?
Was it your first show?
That was my first show ever.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I definitely think it's different in real life than what you see on Instagram. And there's very few things that are like that. But a fashion show, like, it is very surreal.
It's just like an art exhibition, it feels like. You sit down, I mean, what is your experience like with them? You're the real expert. I'm like trying to like what, Jake? No.
No, you were great. I feel like you were like a fixture at the Tommy Hilfiger show. You like, people were loving you. People were like, you look great. And you were like, how do you like my outfit? It was denim, right?
What is your experience like with fashion shows?
There have been like 2 shows that I've genuinely cried at. One, Bodhi in Paris. It was the first time she did like a co-ed show. Emily Bodhi did, like, she rented out this theater and it was about like someone in her life that had passed away. And I was so moved. I literally started tearing up and I was like, I think of fashion so differently. And then the second one was Dries Van Noten's final show. And sometimes I'm there and I'm like really not feeling it, or I'm not feeling the emotional connection. But every once in a while, those 2 shows I think about, like, they actually do make me emotional.
Really?
Yeah.
And were you like do you like when you see a show like that and you like, do you view it more as like art or like I want to wear everything that I've just seen?
Art, totally. Yeah, it's like, it's not, I mean, we can get into this. I honestly wear the same thing every day. Like, truly have a uniform.
But it's like so you.
Yes, I have a uniform, but I really like appreciate the art of clothes, and I was a really serious dancer growing up, and there's something like theatrical about it. Were you a theater kid?
I was.
I knew that. But
on and off. I was like so in my own head. I was way too in my own head to be a theater kid, but like I did a few shows.
Totally.
And like if I could redo it, I would do it like hard.
Yeah, you're a good performer. Like, you can tell. And
Stop.
I feel like, yeah, I was a really serious dancer, and then eventually I got too injured and stopped and went into writing. But, you know, I feel like sometimes when I'm watching a fashion show, I really feel like I'm thinking about dance. There's something so
Really?
theatrical. There's something so about, like, space and, like, the human body wearing clothes. It's, like, messaging. Anyway, we're getting very deep very quickly. Classic.
Wait, I love that. I've seriously never heard anyone speak about fashion that way.
Wow, that's so nice.
Tell me about your day-to-day uniform.
Yeah, I truly wear this like every single day. I have like a couple different iterations of it, but I love a tie, as you know.
You love a tie.
Yeah, I love a tie. I love a suit. I was at the Grammys and I wore a bow tie. I felt very, very proper and nice. I think the biggest thing I've learned from working in fashion is like black tie. Actually, you can't wear a tie. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, you can't wear a tie. It's actually inappropriate.
So why is it called black tie?
You know, I have no idea. I've never thought to Google it, actually.
Actually, that makes so much sense because every time I've gone to a black tie thing, I wear a bow tie.
Yeah.
So you learned that working at GQ.
Yeah, there was this joke at GQ that was, I am the last employee to wear ties.
Really? Because
Yes.
no one else wore ties at
No,
GQ.
it was like me. And it was, yeah, there was a big thing where it was like, oh, black tie event. And I think that's how I learned the hard way. I think I wore something to a black tie event. Somebody was like, girl, don't do that.
Really?
And I was like, sorry, lesson learned. But yeah,
Interesting.
I'll never make that mistake again. It's like Grammy's like, no, I am wearing a big bow tie and I'm like talking about my bow tie obsessively.
Where was your bow tie from?
It was a YSL bow tie and
Cunt.
a blazer. I was going back and forth if I should like wear heels or not. And one of my friends that was also going, I was like, what do you think? And she was like, do not fucking wear heels. You're going to be miserable. And I
They
got
do
there
look painful.
and I was like, thank God I did not wear heels.
Okay, can you tell me about kind of how you ended up at Cosmo? Like what, because For those that don't know, Willa was editor-in-chief of High Snob. You worked at GQ. Now you're editor-in-chief of Cosmo.
Okay, so I was at High Snobiety. Well, I think let's start at the beginning.
Please.
I was actually an intern. It was technically called a fellow at 17 Magazine. I was like obsessed with it. I cold emailed someone in college, and I basically was like, what can I do to work at 17? It's my dream job. Like, please, please, please give me a job. And someone responded to my wild email that like probably today wouldn't age well. I should probably find it. And it was basically like, I'll get coffee with you, but like we don't have a job. And so I remember like leaving school, I went to Sarah Lawrence, taking a train down to the city, getting coffee with her. And she was like, we're not hiring, but if there's, do you know anything about Snapchat? And I was like, I love Snapchat. And it turns out 17 was launching on Snapchat. And so that I was basically like an assistant figuring out like how to package content on social.
Interesting.
So that was like the beginning. And then I kind of just worked my way up. I think GQ is really important for me because I really found my voice there. I still am really close with Will, the editor. And like, I don't know, he really saw something in me and he really helped me refine my voice. And coming at it from a writer's perspective, even though I was working on social, it really was storytelling.
Right, of course.
So I loved it. And I, was there at a really interesting time where I think they were pushing, and they still are, but it was this moment of like, what is GQ to these younger audiences? And it was amazing. And then from there, I went to High Snob, where we met. You wrote an amazing essay for me.
I love that essay.
It did. Like, I remember all the comments being so sweet.
I really was passionate about that essay because I actually wrote it. I began it as like a speech in college for my speech class.
Aww.
And I remember being like, this eats. And I was like, I wish I could put this out somewhere. And then when we started talking about possibly writing something and I just like expanded upon that, I was like, oh, it just felt so me. It was like, this is like a really good example of like who I am at my core.
Yeah, I think we were doing a package for Mental Health Awareness Month.
Right.
And I remember texting you because I think the way you talk about mental health in your podcast is so relatable for young people. And I hear it all the time. They're like, I don't know, the way you talk about just everything. It's like this transparency that doesn't always exist. I mean, more so, I would say, with social media, but you do in a very specific way. So I remember texting you, and you responded within minutes. And by the way, you're early on your deadline.
I was?
Crazy, by the way. That never happens.
She?
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I was like, literally, I remember my executive editor, Genevieve, at the time was like, Jake Sheen turned in his piece early. And I was like, that never happens, by the way. So
you
anyway.
hear that? She likes to give me grief. She's like, you're late on everything. You're late on everything. I don't feel as though I'm ever late. She didn't need to remind me about High Snob. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, so that's honestly such a compliment, Slay. So yeah, High Snobiety. I was there for a while. I think what was cool is creatively, it felt like this niche audience that I was kind of making more broad and more mainstream. And now at Cosmo, I feel like it is this like, it's been around for 60 years, such an iconic legacy. And now I'm trying to put like the voice back in and really refine and refocus what it means. So it's almost the opposite creatively, but I'm excited. I wake up every day like so excited.
Oh.
And I think it's so the time for it right now.
It is so the time for it. And I feel like, yeah, I know what you're saying about Cosmo. Like everyone has this idea of what Cosmo is.
Yeah.
But it's like, if it's going to continue to exist, it has to mold to our current cultural landscape. And like, I feel like there's no one better to do that than you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's true. And you started with this, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Please, let's
I brought you one. Actually, it's not even, you're like one of the only people in the world to have it. But it comes out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, this isn't even out yet?
Yeah.
This is can you tell me about what it was like working with Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin?
They are truly, like, I will not say this lightly, they are truly so in love. Like, the type of couple that, like, I just, like, on set watching them, I was like, holy shit, they are so deeply infatuated with each other and, like, bring out different sides of each other. It's so special. She really, like, Hunter Harris wrote the story, and I feel like there's this part in it where she's talking about how, like, Brenda does all the talking and Mac like does all the listening. And it's so funny because like Mac like brings her down to earth and then he like needs her. It's like they both need each other in a specific way and they're like the perfect balance. And the way they talk, I always felt like so special to be hanging out with them.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
And don't you think it's hard to be like two A-listers in love like this. Like,
They're
I
also
think that must
child
be so
stars
hard.
now.
Yeah.
And he's like infamously had it tough, no?
Yeah, I think he's, Home Alone is so iconic, Sweet Life is so iconic, and they found each other later in life, and it really, it's so meaningful. And I keep saying this, I'm like, we put their love on the cover. And I think for my first cover for Cosmo, like having someone's relationship on the cover is part of the story. And it coming out on Valentine's Day, I feel like we're really, I'm putting such a clear message of like what this new era is going to be about. And it's about love. It's about celebrating love. It's kind of going back to the original Cosmo, celebrating love, relationships, growing up, messiness.
But like in a different way. Because we change as a society. We talk about love and we talk about relationships in a different way today than we obviously talked about it in the early 2000s.
100%.
And I feel like this is such a cool spin on it. And I don't know. I need you to explain this to me in like art person terms, but like why, what is it about this photo? You can't look, it's like a very clean image.
I think it's because they're in bed and they're looking at you. And Richard Kern is a photographer, and I feel like he was really able to get this like intimate moment with them on camera. And Brandon Tan, who did the styling, I think someone actually on staff said this to me and it gave me chills. She was like, I feel like when I'm looking at that photo, you feel like, oh, they've really been dating and they started like sharing clothes. And that feeling is captured in that cover somehow, where you're like, oh, like they're really sharing a closet. They're really like together and connected. And I think it's really hard to do that in a photograph. I knew it was special. I felt it, but you never know. And you're putting something out there. I'm sure you feel this way where you're like, I think this is clear, but you just never know. You just never know.
I get more scared. Tell me if you feel the same way. Like when you were anxious, were you more scared that like how it was going to be received, or like if people were going to care? Like I get really anxious that people aren't going to care about the stuff I put out.
That's interesting. It wasn't about that. It was more like, it was so clear to me what I was trying to say, but I was like, will that translate? You just never know.
Right.
And I wanted them to feel good about it. They never do press together. This was really intimate. I mean, you're really, this is the first time they've ever done something like this. So I wanted them to feel comfortable. I wanted it to do well. I wanted subscriptions to do well. I wanted it to do well online. It obviously has surpassed all expectations, but you just never know, especially with the internet. Sometimes I'm like,
you do never know.
Yeah.
It's a gnarly place.
It's a really hard time to be a young person on the internet. I really cannot say this enough.
There's something, like, as someone, you grew up on the internet. As someone who grew up on the internet, something about it today feels like it's a lot more like it's like they're like stabbing you, but like kind of nicely. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a lot like being really mean is normalized under the guise that like you're morally correct about something.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's more just like so much feedback. I mean,
it's
when
like
when I was a dancer, like I would present my art and then it would be done. And people would like maybe say one or two comments. This, like everything I put out, every piece I write, I obviously think about it so deeply and so in my head. And then it's out there and it's like, I'm reading everything from like good, bad, ugly, people who like don't even know what they're looking at. And I think there's also, you probably actually know this more than me, like there's a point when anything goes viral, like this did, where then it just hits a different audience.
Yeah.
But I was lucky that like this, I feel like people got that it was celebrating their love. And that's why I'm like very proud of that.
I also will say, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all, I also will say that feeling when it hits a different algorithm, I always find to be, it never stings for me because I know that it's I know that that's not who I don't care, you know? Like, I'm not that's not the audience I'm trying to reach. That's not my audience. And I know what I'm doing, it's not going to resonate with them. When it stings the most for me is when someone who I want to reach kind of like is like, fuck this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, ugh, I don't know. The internet's it's a really, really tough place.
Yeah, it's a really tough place. And I think I have two teen sisters, and they like, even talking to them, like the things they have to navigate are just so drastically different than anything I did in high school. And I obviously was on Tumblr, I obviously was on LiveJournal. I was MySpace.
MySpace. I was
Yeah.
never on MySpace, but Tumblr was my shit.
Tumblr's amazing. I want Tumblr to have a wild comeback.
Can it?
Let's do it.
How? No, you can do it. How? Fun fact, the guy who created Tumblr went to my high school.
What?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Super random,
All right.
honestly.
Brag.
His
So cool.
mom, I think, was like the science teacher. I don't really know. But I had a Hunger Games themed Tumblr.
Wow.
Do you remember your Tumblr name?
It was something about Twilight. I was like the biggest Twilight fan. Like if you asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I would be like magazine editor, ballerina. I'm going to write the gay Twilight. Like obsessed with Twilight. So I think it was probably something about like Team Bella, LOL, I'm gay. Like, like now it aged in a certain way, but at the time I was like, I'm just really Team Bella.
That's like when I was like, I'm just a really, really big fan of Justin Bieber. I just want to marry him because I love his music. That's what I used to say in 4th grade.
Wow.
Oh, I had my birthday party in, I think it was 5th or 6th grade. It was Justin Bieber themed. I was a really big believer.
I love that. I was too, but like something about Twilight like had a chokehold on me, and it kind of still does. Like I see merch, I'm always like buying it on Instagram. I'm like, stop doing that. Like I'm 30 years old.
Twilight had a really cool aesthetic going on. And
It was so ahead of its time.
it was so ahead of its time. It was
me
like,
talking about Twilight again.
well, no, it's the reason that the Hunger Games exists. It's the reason that the Maze Runner, like Divergent, it's the reason. I mean, like, I feel like people, I wonder if like younger people today like remember that insane surge of like YA fantasy.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, that was always like my dream. I was like, I'm gonna write the gay Twilight. Bella's gonna love Bella. Like,
Do you still want to do that?
yeah, one day. I think this storytelling to me is like is just really impactful right now. And I again, like going back to what we were saying earlier, like I do think young people need this right now, and that's what's exciting me. But I would definitely write books, especially like. But it would be like Twilight is the thing.
Do it.
It would be like almost like fanfic, I think. Did you write fanfic?
No. I think I read One Direction fanfic.
Well, as someone who's edited your writing before, you'd be great at fanfic.
Thank you so much.
Wow, Jake Shane fanfic.
I love writing.
You and Tucker. Oh my God.
Love Tucker. Do you know Tucker?
Oh, yes, of course. Actually, this is fun. I just remembered this fun fact. I actually profiled him at GQ.
Did you really?
Yes.
And what was that like? Is he the same?
We
No?
went to Carbone, actually, and we went on like, I've never talked about this before. What a great question. We went on a date at Carbone, and it was amazing. He's so funny. Like his humor, it's like, we spoke for like 2.5 hours. And I remember looking through the transcript being like, what did we even talk about?
No, because it's nothing but everything.
Yeah, I'm like, that was so deep.
Do you have a favorite piece you've ever written?
Oh, that's a good question. My Billie Eilish profile is pretty special to me. I profiled Noah Beck pretty early, and that felt special because no one was like writing about TikTok in that way.
Right.
And I felt like I was taking it seriously. So that was exciting. And you just had him on. He's really sweet.
He's the sweetest.
Yeah.
And he's like so authentic to who he is and
Yeah.
works so you can tell when someone just like works hard. And he like really like that generation of TikTok had so much outside noise because it was such a new thing. It
Totally.
was kind of like when like YouTube happened or reality television first came about, or whenever there's something new, there's always pushback. And I feel like TikTok kind of was the space for like unlimited pushback. And he's someone that just like didn't really, I don't think it affected him at all.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm going to do my thing. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't.
Yeah. I wrote this one profile on Cole Sprouse that also is really special to me. He like hadn't done press in a while. And I like went to his house and am I allowed to talk about cigarettes on here?
Yes.
Okay, we like chain smoked cigarettes all day. And I don't really smoke cigarettes, but there was like something with the piece. I was like, I'm living my writerly dream. Like, this
No,
is
that's
awesome.
everything.
And we hung out for like 3 hours and like talked about everything. And I like when I can really hang out with someone. In this issue, I wrote 2 things. I gave advice to questions about romance, which we'll do later with Prescribe.
Yes.
It was really awesome.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote a Gracie Abrams profile that's also very special. Big fan, obviously.
Tell me about that. What was that like?
It's special. Eli Russell is this photographer that has been like obsessed with Gracie for a while, and it was fun. It was like a day in LA, shot in his studio, and I think she's just so special and like She's a good person.
Yeah.
You know her?
Did you I don't think we've ever met. She follows me. We've DM'd like once and like I think texted once, and then like that's it. Like
Yeah, that's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, like that's like pretty cool to me. But like
You're like, we're basically dating.
We're basically dating.
Wow.
But she did you watch her? Were you able to watch her work in the studio?
No, but I've profiled her at GQ in I think it was 2020, and I profiled her. I didn't profile her, but she was in High Snobiety. We did a digital cover with her, and then this is kind of like full circle.
What did you, since you said you profiled Gracie early on in GQ, is there something you noticed different from GQ to now in her?
She's just real as hell, honestly. She's
Yeah.
like so real. She's just a real friend. Like you could call her right now about a breakup. She would be the best person to talk to. You were actually one of the first people to text me. You were like, "Oh my God, I love Cosmo and I love you."
It's so cool.
cool.
It's just so, there's no one better. Like
Aw.
anyone else, no, you're going to you bring such a distinct voice to everything you touch.
Thank you.
It's true. It really is true. And there's no one better to take on Cosmo and change it and shape it for how the world we're in now.
Thank you.
So
That's so sweet.
It's true.
I'm really excited, and this is only in the beginning, and like I really feel like so optimistic about it and excited.
That's amazing. And you're like excited to go to work every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited to go to work every day?
Yeah. It depends what I'm doing. Every day is different.
Yeah.
Like today I was so excited because we're hanging out.
Aw.
Some days and some days I'm like, I actually don't think I've ever really dreaded something.
Is that true?
Sorry, I just lied. I dread everything, but I there's like certain like the days I'm like most excited is like, I think one of the most excited I ever was. I finished tour, and the day did I do role model the day I got back. I've never been more excited for anything because we had already done it once before, and I was so excited to talk to him again. I like couldn't wait, and like that was one of the times I was most excited. Dreading was
Love Tucker fanfic. We need it.
I know. What are you watching right now? I always love to ask. Are you watching any of the Oscar noms? What do you?
Yeah. Okay. I am like the biggest Sex and the City fan in the world. So I was actually thinking. I was like, what am I gonna prescribe? Like thinking on the way here, and I was like, every single thing that came to my mind was a Sex and the City episode, which is like probably not it. You need to have some variety. So
No, I mean, I spent an entire season prescribing girls every single episode.
Oh, I need to have a girl's phase. Have
Never seen it?
No, I've seen it. I've just never had like a phase where I'm like, oh my God, girls.
It's so everything. Like, it's seriously like that show changed my life.
A lot of people feel this way, and I respect and love. I think Rachel Sennett's show will also have that effect.
I feel the same exact way. I'm so excited for her show.
It's gonna be amazing. What am I watching right now? Suddenly I can't remember anything. I just watched Hacks for the first time, actually. I'm like
watch Hacks?
10 years late. I just watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
What else have I been watching?
Hacks is the best show I have seen in recent. Like, I had my girls moment and then I had my Hacks moment because the end of season 3 where Hannah like says that to Jean Smart, we're just like, wouldn't you? She's like so kind.
Big Traders fan.
Okay, I tried to get into Traders, but
Whoa, you're not into Traders?
I know.
That's actually really surprising.
Is it good? I don't understand how it works.
It's basically amazing.
Okay.
Truly. Like, it's basically nothing makes sense. The challenges like don't always work out. You're like, what am I watching? But then they're at the round table and they're like having the craziest negotiation of a lifetime, and they think they caught the traitor, and it's only been the traitor once.
Really?
So far. So like they've been
Do I
wrong.
have time to catch up? How many episodes? I feel like there's like 10 already out. It's like 2.
Yeah, you could definitely catch up. It's really easy viewing.
Yeah.
But I like love it. I'm like Thursday Night Traders, like love.
You gotta watch Housewives if you love Traders.
I know I have to get into Housewives more. I've been following the Giggly Squad drama at
What's
Cosmo.
the Giggly Squad drama?
Just like who they are. You know, they're both 2 women in media, which I think is cool.
Right. I didn't know they had drama.
No drama. Just like, sorry, I used that word way too lightly.
Yeah.
You're like, what drama?
Wait,
oh my
no,
God.
obviously I'm like, wait, hello, tell me everything.
What else am I watching? Has to be something. What's on right now? Anyone know?
Severance.
Oh, are you watching Severance?
I haven't seen it.
Willa.
I know. I need to get better at watching.
Severance is so sick.
Really?
I remember watching that in real time when it came out. Like, and then it's just so good. It's so good. Because it's like, I love a show that's like Black Mirror-esque.
I feel like it'll make me like anxious a bit. No.
No, because like you're never going to be in a severed workplace.
Okay, that's true.
Like, you know what I mean?
So it's like unrealistic.
It's like you're never going to sign up to do that. Actually, that's what makes me feel less anxious about that show is that you have to sign up to do that. So it's not like you're forced to be severed. It's just... Have you seen any of the Oscar noms? Have you seen Anora?
Nora, turn to page something in there. There's an amazing... Is it called a centerfold? Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Okay, a centerfold is basically
Here, I'll
like...
find
It's
it.
exactly halfway through, if that helps you at all.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
these Gracie photos are sick.
thank you.
Oh my God, what? This is sick.
Thank you, thank you. Wow, this is like the first time I've seen...
Ah!
Yeah, that's from Nora.
I love him.
I know, isn't he so... He's so nice.
How old is he? 22.
Wow, Cosmo knows it all.
Is he super Russian in real life?
He was amazing. He was amazing. We did get in trouble because he like lit a cigarette inside the studio, and that was obviously not allowed.
What have you been listening to?
Like Doechii at the Grammys was incredible.
Oh,
It was really amazing.
yeah.
Like the outfit, like I was like blown away. Chapel sounded also amazing. Huge Billy stan. But Doechii's performance was seriously amazing.
I saw her Colbert performance, which was just mind-blowing. I couldn't catch any of the Grammys because I was in the air. Like, I was on a plane for, I don't know. Oh, this is the second time I've said I was in the air, which is so weird. I said it this morning, too. I was on a plane, and then I landed.
Jake Shane was flying.
Yeah, I was fine. I landed, and I turned on the Grammys because I finally got service. And, oh my God, also the scariest thing happened to me. We were, you know about all these, like, plane crashes?
Yeah, I'm going on a red eye tonight, so I'm trying not to think about it. But yes,
Okay,
100%.
well, so I had a moment. I was flying, and I was, like, chilling the whole flight, and then all of a sudden, has this ever happened to you before? It's never happened to me. They were like, you need to turn off your phone. And I was like, well, it's on airplane mode. And they're like, no, you need to turn it off. And I was like, what? And they're like, we were about to land. And they were like, we're going through a really foggy area. You need to turn it off. And I was like, okay. So that's it for me.
No, that's so scary. I'm going on a red eye tonight, and I like really don't love red eyes. Like I think they're really uncomfortable. What do you think about red eyes?
I am a red eye fanatic.
What?
I have a whole routine.
I need to hear. What is it?
I get on my red eye. I take 2 Benadryl and 2 melatonin, and I pass out. It's like the closest thing I can get to Xanax without actually taking a Xanax.
Wow.
And then I pass out. I wake up, and then I sleep until noon. Because like I usually land in New York, because it's always to New York. And I land in New York at like 7, 6, or 8. And then I'll sleep until noon, and then get to start all my day.
Yeah, the plane part is fine for me, but I guess tonight I'm going on a red eye back to school, back to work, and I land and go straight to work. And I think that's the part that like by 4 p.m. tomorrow, I will be like exhausted.
Yeah, your eyes will be shut in.
Coffee, chilling, listening to music, it definitely helps to like your job, but it's red eyes, like it's like the 3 p.m. that always gets me.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I try to like just lay in bed and fall asleep, and then I'll wake up at like 12. That's like my routine. I'm like, I have to lay down and I have to sleep.
Are you good at touring?
Am I,
Like
Louise?
traveling, touring, not like the actual act.
I
was like, are you good on tour?
you know what? I was a lot better than I think people would guess. I was a lot better. I'll tell you why though. When you're touring and you're the artist, that entire day, it revolves around you. Everything revolves around you. So everyone's concern is like making sure that like the show goes on. Like that's, am I wrong? What is so funny?
No, you're not.
Jake is the center of the universe.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it. Tell me more.
but like that, so that when you wake up and you're like, it's Jake Day every day. Like,
yeah, it's kind of
not
awesome.
easy to, it's easy to get out of bed. You're like, oh, what do I want to do? What do I want for lunch? What do I like? What do I like? It's easy for me. I'm like, I will say there's been times where I have gotten no fucking sleep, but you learn. So like, I started taking like an Advil PM like right after I got off the stage because like sometimes I'm just so revved up that like I like can't go to bed.
Yeah, I definitely relate to it. Do you have that feeling where like after you put something out or after you do something, you're like so awake after?
Yes.
Like always when I like put a story out or like I've been working on something and it's out there, like when the issue came out, I was just like all day like very calm, but like just like I'm not going to bed.
That's how I felt when like my tickets went on sale. I was like refreshing. Or like honestly, this sounds so lame, but like when a TikTok does well, like I'm like I can't stop. It's very addicting. Like scrolling, comments, or like a post. Like yes, it's when you're putting something out that you like think is like your own work.
Totally. And you like actually care about it and you've thought really hard about it and then you're just like, okay, it's not mine anymore, it's yours. Cosmo for everyone. And it's really cool. When readers email me, like it actually means the world to me.
Readers email you?
All the time. And like someone stopped me on the street and was like, oh, like I read this Cosmo article and it, you know, made me think that like I should potentially break up with my boyfriend and I didn't and then I did and I feel so much better now, like thank you. And I was like, well, I wasn't editor yet, but like I love you for telling me that. And like I just thought that was so like I really like that stuff is like why we do it.
Yeah, 100%.
That happens to you all the time. It's like
I
should
like it when
reframe
people
that.
tell me that I made them feel better about their OCD.
Aw.
That's like what I really, really appreciate because like as a kid, I like never thought people don't understand what OCD is.
Yeah.
And so like when people tell me that I've made them feel better about that, like that always makes me feel really, really good.
What do you feel like most people don't get about OCD?
I think people think it's like a neat disease and like it's actually like so not that at all. Like I don't even think that like it could be a neat disease, but like the actual basis of OCD is just like thoughts that happen again and again and again and again and again. And like you have these thoughts and like you feel like the need to do them. Like you're obsessive compulsive disorder, like you're obsessive over it. So like I have thoughts and like if I don't do it, something bad will happen. Cause like it takes your anxiety and it like for me, it like takes what I'm anxious about, and then like twists it and is like, you can control this if you just listen to me and do what I say. So like that's what OCD is for me, and it's like different for a lot of people, but like growing up like that, it's very underrepresented.
Yeah, I think the way you talk about it in your show is amazing.
Thanks.
And I know so many young people feel so close to you because of it. So it's really special, truly.
Love you. I do have a question for you.
Oh my God.
It's kind of random, but like I just like it popped into my head mid conversation, and I was like, I really want to ask this. What is the toughest writer's block you've ever had?
Ooh. Honestly, writing Billie Eilish. I had
Really?
24 hours. I had 48 hours, I think. And I am such a fan of her work that, you know, I was just like, I'm so obsessed with her work. Like, truly, it was just so hard to write about something I was so close to. And then every ed letter, for some reason, it's like it never gets easier for me. Every single issue has an editor's letter. And this one was like so hard. I was like, there is so much I want to say to this audience and like to introduce this new era. And I don't know. Billy was like more writer's block. This was more like nothing I do will ever say what I mean.
Wow.
What about you?
I don't write enough to have writer's block. I don't write enough to have writer's block. I'm trying to think because like that High Snob piece came like I already like wrote half of it and then it came like so naturally to me. Probably when I'm writing my monologue for my show.
Yeah.
That's been really, really hard for me, and we're doing it right now.
Does a deadline help you?
So much.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, oh, I have to do it by this date. Oh, we're getting it done.
You know what the best pieces are? Thinking of what you were just saying about like you had started a piece and then it came out later. Like the pieces that are like in your subconscious or in your brain like for years before you actually write them are always the best.
Right.
100%. That's like the Billy one. Like by the time I sat down to write it, I was like, oh, I've been writing this my whole freaking life.
Right. Have you been a fan of Billy since?
Yeah. Oh my God. Like 2017 Teen Vogue. My shit. Like I was like the OG Billy fan. And she was my first cover at High Snob. But I feel like this actual album is my favorite, which is kind of a controversial take.
No, really? I feel
Yeah.
like people ride for this fucking album.
Yeah, but like every album of hers is so amazing. But I think it's a lot of older Billie stans wouldn't say that as quickly. And I'm like, I just think it's so cohesive. It's so clear.
It is really cohesive.
It's shorter, but
Yeah.
it's like it's all meant to go together. And that's kind of like a good magazine, not to bring it back. But
No, it's true.
it's like this is like all about love. Like it's like an album in that way that it's like clear, intentional. We thought really hard about the writers, the contributors, the pictures we chose, the size of the images. Like I do think there is some similarity between those creative processes in that way.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure you feel that way about Tour.
God, I wish I thought more about Tour. Like, my thing is, like, I kind of just get Tour is so based on the audience in that moment.
Yeah, that is so crazy.
Especially with comedy. So when you're like singing and you're performing, yes, it's based in the audience, but the audience knows we are coming here and we are going to hear these songs. When you're trying to make people laugh, every audience is different because every audience is from a different place, and every different place has a different sense of humor because every place is a different environment. So you have to mold every single time you're talking to people what you kind of just, it's such a quick thing. In that moment, you have to be like, this isn't working, and you have to quickly pivot, or like, they're not getting this. I'm going to go through this really quickly and then do this instead. I don't know. It's just.
So it's like you're kind of like making on the spot a lot of it.
Which I love.
Yeah, that's fun.
Because it's like we're hanging out. That's what I love most. My favorite part about Tour is when I'll do the Tell Me What's Wrongs, and that's my crowd work section. So we'll do a lot of crowd work, and it's so fun.
Oh, so yeah, I think I've seen this on TikTok. They'll be like, "This is going on in my life," and you'll just like respond to that. It's so
yes,
cool.
and you learn a lot. You learn how to respond. Like, crowd work is such an art. Like, you have to repeat. It's like a whole to do. It's not like that much. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
But isn't it such a cool feeling? Like whenever someone stops me and talk about Cosmo, I'm like, it's so freaking cool that like we make something that people like have their own relationship with and their own like feelings about. And you know, especially like with your podcast, I feel like you have such loyal listeners, and then someone will stop you and be like, this moment on this one interview with Charlie XCX.
Yes, like just what
so
you were
cool.
telling me about that episode, which I love, and people don't tell me about it that much, but I love that episode.
It's a really, I was saying before we turned the cameras on that I really loved your Charlie episode, and it was just, I just thought I like learned a lot about her.
Right. So did I. I learned a lot about like her. It made, when I ended up listening to Brat for the first time, being able to hear about it before. So I knew what the vision was before it came out. And so did everyone else that listened. And seeing that vision realized so like perfectly was like what really made the episode for me.
What? So you interviewed her before hearing Brad at all?
Yes, I heard.
Wow.
I think she had released 360, and she had released Von Dutch.
Wow.
I think she had released the Von Dutch remix. Yes, she had. And I think that was it. I don't think she had released anything else. And and she was sitting where you were sitting, and she was talking about how Brat was really direct and bitchy and vulnerable, and then she was talking about, I think about it all the time, and she was talking about what it was about, and it was about wanting to have a baby, but thinking about if it's not the right time. And then you play the album, and she's right. It's so direct. There's no masking in what she's talking about. She's literally like on the song being like, I'm thinking about having another baby. And it's like, oh, the way she describes her work is so what it is, that it made it so much more enjoyable to listen to. I don't know.
100%. I think
I ride for that album hard.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that interview, I guess I did hear it before I heard the full album. I guess I'm just putting that together now. Like, I do feel like it really articulated like what she was going for, and it was so clear, and I love when that happens.
Yes, me too. I love. Well, speaking of albums,
what
is some of your favorite albums of all time? I love that question.
All time. I love Driver's License. I know it's not an album. That's a song.
Yeah, that was a moment. Sour was a moment in fucking time.
Yeah. Sour was huge for me. Truly huge. Like 10 out of 10. I love most of Billie's, pretty much all of them. I can't think of one I don't love. I'm a big pop girly.
Me too, as you know.
Yeah, through and through. You know, something surprising, like Brat, I appreciated, but I wasn't obsessed with.
Really?
And I think that's crazy because I love all of the pop girls. There was something about it that I did not relate to.
Okay, so I think Brat. Okay, so the reason why it was such a moment is because, in my mind, is because like when you're like when you're listening to Brat, you're locking into what Brat is, and you're locking into that mindset, like that Brat mindset. And I was so ready to be in that mindset of like, let's party and do drugs and say whatever I want and do whatever I want and kind of let loose. And I feel like if you're not in that, like you have to be in that certain position to really appreciate it.
Yeah, I like love Charlie, and I think what she's done is incredible, by the way. Like, I'm such a fan of what she's done. They're just like weren't songs that I was relating to. And I think maybe that speaks to like the Billie, Olivia, like Gracie, like taste that I have. It's just like I like sad girl music.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to like go to the gym and listen to Billie. You know, you go to the gym and
100%.
listen to Charlie, but then it's like I don't know, maybe I just don't go to the gym enough. I'm just like there weren't times in my life where Charlie was like fitting in seamlessly.
So I'll send you a few songs that I think you'll like. So on her remix album for Brat, which was excellent.
Japanese house
by the
song.
way.
Incredible.
Yes, incredible.
Incredible.
Have you heard the Everything is Romantic remix with Caroline Polachek?
Yes, incredible.
Okay, so my favorite part about
Okay, you get it.
the Everything is Romantic remix is that the first Everything is Romantic, and this is what makes both albums so good. Like, by the way, when I was doing my meet and greets for my tour, I would play the Brat remix album start to finish. Which, I could go on about Brat forever.
love that.
But the Everything is Romantic remix, the first Everything is Romantic is like this like ode to like loving life and being in Capri and like whatever. And then the second Everything is Romantic is about how everything for her is going so well, but she doesn't feel good. And Caroline Polachek is like there to remind her that it's not just what's the word? Grandiose things in life that are romantic, but it's the smaller things in life that are romantic too.
I love that.
Is what I think. And like, but it's a sad song as well. It's sad.
I think you're right. I think the remix ones, like I really did love. Like the Japanese house remix was amazing, and I love the Japanese house. But I think that's more my taste, like what I actually listen to. But culturally, like I very much appreciate everything Charlie's done, and I've been a fan for I've known her forever. You know, like
Right.
she's been doing this for so long.
She's been at it.
Yeah, and like especially like in the queer scene, like I feel like I've seen her DJ parties like since I like came out.
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, she is really, she's like one with the gays.
Yeah,
She's like the
Truly.
least gay person.
I love it.
No, she's the most gay straight person.
Most gay straight person.
Like do you know what I mean? Like
Totally
she's so
know
for the
exactly
gays, but
what you mean.
she's so straight.
That's gay math. You know, like
Do
girl
you know
math.
what I
That's gay
mean?
math. Wait, something that you put into my brain the other day. So you posted, you were like, Phoebe Bridgers, when's your new music coming out?
When
and
is it?
I literally have not stopped thinking about it since. I think she is one of the best artists of all time. I'm huge Phoebe. But when you put that into my brain, I was like, holy shit, I want that
Where is
so badly.
She writes some of my favorite lyrics of all time.
She's a true artist.
She's a true artist. She has this one line. It's and I know the end, and she talks about she's like I romanticize a quiet life. There's no place like my room.
So good.
And that's actually in reference. I'm pretty sure because I watched her Genius interview. It's in reference to being on tour, and all she can think about is wanting to go back to her room. I think, but then when she actually goes back, it's not. She should romanticize it, so it's not. It's one of my favorite lines she's ever written.
No, some of her lyrics are like truly amazing, and I think such an amazing writer. I mean, talk about writing. But you I saw that on your Instagram story, and I was like, holy shit, I need this today.
Today. She
What?
has this one line in this Boy Genius album.
Yes. I love Boy Genius, obviously.
Love Boy Genius. And cool about it is she says, I think it's her that sings it. She says, I took your medication to know what it's like, and now I have to pretend like I can't read your mind.
Oh my God.
Which is so, like, my favorite thing she's ever written. And she talks about And then she's like, and I walk the street with you and I practice method acting, like to pretend that I don't know what you're thinking, but I know everything you're thinking.
Yeah, it's like how you like listen to Phoebe songs and you're like, wait, am I heartbroken or in love? But I'm crying. Like it applies to every single part of intimacy. It's
amazing.
Really special.
Oh, I could go on about her. She's
amazing. We need more music.
We need more music. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Since Punisher, it's been
crazy.
5 years.
Do you like Doechii?
I love Doechii.
I really like Grammy's performance. I was like blown away.
I need to get into Alligator Bites Never Heal. I haven't gotten into the album yet. I've gotten into a few songs, but I know she wrote that album in like 3 weeks.
I did not know that.
Yeah, when I interviewed her at the VMAs, she was like, I wrote that album in 3 weeks.
Wow.
Do you remember that? Yeah.
3 weeks? That's crazy.
Yeah, she was like, I wrote it in 3 weeks. And that was before she was like really having her moment.
I mean, the Tom Brown. Like I was also just like, how did my friends at Tom Brown, like, much love. How the heck did you get that many outfits there?
Right.
There were so many. I was like trying to count and I was like, someone has been truly like working so hard at Tom Brown.
Yeah, for this moment.
And I was like sending love. Like it was so beautiful, it was so cinematic, it was so intentional. Like I was blown away. And then also Chapel.
I seriously die for her.
Yeah.
Like, I know when my mom is texting me about someone, like, it means something.
Wow.
And my mom was, like, texting me about Chapel.
At the Grammys or just in
At
general?
the Grammys.
Oh.
She was like, what? Where have I been?
Her voice was so beautiful in that room. And I think it's really hard to perform at the Grammys.
Oh, my God,
Could not even guess what that feels like. But, like, Chapel, yeah, she was a really amazing performer.
Oh, and I love that. I just love her. I really want to see her live. Should we get into the Tell Me What's Wrong?
Yes! Can we call someone?
Yes. This is what you have been excited for. I've never had someone so excited for the Tell Me What's Wrongs, and I love it. Okay, I need advice from my friend. He's gay, 24 years old, and went on a date with a 72-year-old who was my mom's OBGYN. The date went good, but I mean, he's old as my grandfather, and now he is sending flowers to his work, messaging him, etc. Does he ghost or turn him down easily? What do I say? Help.
Okay, interesting. That sounds like there's a lot going on. I would say don't ghost because that doesn't solve anything.
Never.
Always have a conversation. But I would turn that down.
Of course. You will only have a few years with him anyway.
Oh my God, that's so savage. Yeah, no judgment on age gap relationships, but yeah, I would.
24 to 72 is excessive.
Yeah, totally. But I just think like a conversation, turn it down, keep it moving.
Yeah, it's just, I get it though. Like I also do look for older people in relationships. 72 is a lot though.
Yeah.
I would say like a cap is like maybe 50 something.
What's the oldest person you've ever dated?
I've never had a boyfriend, but
Really?
the oldest person I've ever hooked up with probably mid-40s.
How was that?
While I was like 20 or 19. Oh my God, I was 19.
How was that?
Horrible. Yeah.
All right, next question.
Yeah. Hi, yeah, I don't know why I'm like, you should date a 50-year-old. You shouldn't. Hi, Jake. So I just got out of a 3-year-long relationship with my boyfriend. Now all of these guys are hitting me up, including one of my twin brother's best friends. He keeps complimenting me and asking me out. Is that something I should bring up to my brother? What is going on? I would bring it up to my brother, but I wouldn't let what my brother says sway how I behave, like, with this person. Like, if you feel chemistry and it's there, then...
Yeah, I kind of agree. I have 3 sisters and, like, none of that would fly. However... I think you can have that. Like you could be like, hey, I like this is happening. I'm feeling this, and like let's be honest about it. So I don't know.
I feel like the brother is gonna get mad at the
twin
brother for flirting and not going to him for the twin brother. It's messy. Yeah, but life is messy.
So true, Jake.
Life is so messy.
Life is literally so messy.
You know who I have my finger on the pulse on? Lola, speaking of messy, Lola Young. I love her. I love her.
Really?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Can't wait.
Yeah, she's great.
See her in the I'm like, hey, Jake Shane recommended you to be on the cover of Cosmo.
Wait,
who would you put on the cover of Cosmo?
Who would I put on the cover of Cosmo?
Anyone in the world. Dead, alive, fictional.
Dead or alive?
Or fictional. So yes, Bella Swan could be on the cover of Cosmo.
Like I would
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I would love to see, like, since we're doing Dead or Alive, like, I would love to see an interview between you and Amy Winehouse.
Wow, that's so thoughtful and sweet.
I
Jake.
love Amy
That's
Winehouse.
such a good one.
And I just want to hear what she has to say. And she is like so one of the most like unfiltered artists we've ever had. And I just anything we get from her is a gift. So that's who I would want.
That's amazing.
I don't think I've ever been so well spoken in a podcast episode before. I hooked up with this guy and spent the night during the night. Wait, oh, sorry. Stroke. I hooked up.
It's okay. No worries.
I'm like unwell. I'm so jet lagged.
It's okay. No
I've been
worries.
up at 4 a.m. every single day because of I
know you did text me at 4 a.m. and I was like, you good? But then
No.
I was also up responding, so I was like, I'm not good.
I've been up since so early every day. I don't know why. I'm jet lag.
Yeah.
I hooked up with this guy and spent the night. During the night, he kept waking me up because he was doing downward dog multiple times on a yoga mat naked. Is this the biggest ick of 2025 or am I being dramatic?
It's not the biggest ick of 2025, I'll tell you that much.
It's not the
I can
biggest
think of
ick.
worse.
I can also think of worse. So much worse. Like, he could, like, idolize Elon Musk.
Yeah, I mean, in 2025, like, that's not the biggest ick, to answer the question.
Like, at least he's in touch with his body. I will say, like, if I what was that thing that people used to do where they would, like, stand up and, like, go like this? Do you know what I'm talking about? What was that?
Soldier Boy? Was it?
No. No. Like that, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
have no idea what you're talking about.
I once had this
Demonstrate.
guy. I had this guy. I was hooking up with this guy.
Yeah.
And he was so on drugs, I think. I don't know what was going on with him. And he went naked around his room going like this. That is more of an
Wait,
ick than downward dog.
In the hookup?
Yes.
Wow.
It was horrible. It was horrible. And I still called him again.
You were like, hey, I'm not ghosting you, by the way. You want to hang?
So it's not the biggest ick, but I am curious as to why he was doing it
Yeah.
during your sleepover. But like if he was maybe just protecting his peace.
Yeah, and I think, like, I don't know, everyone has their stuff. It's okay. Maybe that's very Cosmo of me, but I'm like, we accept all types of things that you need to do.
Everyone does have their stuff, and yoga
Yeah.
is really good for the mind.
Yeah, 100%. Yoga is
Yeah.
good for the mind.
It's not an ick. It's not an ick. I struggle to. Oh, this like feels like it was written by me. I struggle to find a balance when going out. I can never be chill. I always black out and don't remember anything. What should I do? You need to find a drink that you love. You need to find a drink that you genuinely enjoy the taste of. So that way, when you are drinking, you are not drinking as in action to get drunk. You're drinking because you're enjoying, and like by the end of the drink, you've enjoyed the taste of it, number one, and number two, you have a nice buzz going on.
That's interesting. So enjoy the drink. It's more like intuitive eating or drinking.
Yes.
That's more what it is. I agree with that.
So like lately, I've been into dirty martinis, and I
Interesting.
never ever thought I'd be into them. I hated olives for the longest time. Oh my God, we haven't even prescribed anything.
Wait,
I'm so sorry. We're moving so fast.
yes.
I'm pressing the rewind button. I'm so sorry.
He's pressing the rewind button.
Okay. For the 3-year-long relationship girl with her boyfriend, and now she's talking to the twin brother's best friend, I would prescribe.
What's that movie? It's like an English long distance.
Normal people?
No. I've never seen Normal People.
Ugh. You
I
got to
know.
see Normal People.
I know, I gotta see Normal People. Okay, wait. The twin brother. Remind me the story.
The girl is flirting with her twin brother's best friend.
I don't know. I'm thinking like siblings. I'm only thinking of Little Women for some reason, which is not what this person should watch.
You know, I've never seen Little Women.
Oh, it's amazing.
I know, so
It's incredible. So that's why I'm like, it's not the right answer for this person. I don't know. Sex and the City is the answer to everything.
So Sex in the City.
Yeah.
The girl who thinks the yoga mat is an ick. I would prescribe a yoga class.
Oh, that's interesting.
Take a yoga class. It will change your life.
Wait, I'm gonna say something divisive.
Say it.
Can I prescribe Earth Cafe, or is that not allowed?
You know how I feel about Earth Cafe.
I know, and I know because yesterday I went to be like, I want to go to Earth Cafe. The first thing that pops up is and I was like, I'm gonna confront him about this.
Tell me about you. You grew up here, no?
Yeah, of course. But why? Why is
my
that an
beef?
ick? Is that an ick for you? Speaking of
Okay,
icks,
so like
it's perfectly good, by the way.
I love their boba. They're like little like their frozen like frappe situation with the boba. I love that. One time I had this like taco salad. It was so disgusting that I've never been able to go back. And also like I don't like that they don't have French fries. I think it's weird.
Oh, it's interesting.
I think it's weird.
Lots of places don't have French fries. Okay, but if you were on a date and somebody was like, let's go to Earth Cafe, would that be an immediate ick for you?
No, I would just say, can we go somewhere else? I hate that place.
Okay, that's mature.
Yeah, I would say I hate that place.
Do you believe in icks?
Of course. I got
really?
I got one so bad the other week.
Interesting.
Just the littlest thing could happen and I'm like, ugh. My icks are like based in like my like cuz I can see past almost anything. When my friends are like, that was weird, I'm like, oh my God, that was weird. Because I'm so careful to how I'm perceived that like that's when I get insecure and anxious. Because like when you're in a relationship, you're giving so much of yourself to that person. Like you kind of become one together. And like I'm a little too, I need to work on it. I'm a little too cautious to how my friends see the people that I want to be with romantically.
No, friends are everything. I'm very like I love how much you love your friends.
Yeah, I die.
Yeah,
for
I'm
my
like
friends.
still best friends with like all my friends from elementary school. Isn't that crazy?
Really?
Yeah, we have a group chat
That's a green flag.
called Tap In.
Tap in.
Actually, one time I said the biggest red flag about someone is if they have different people at their birthday party every year. Don't you agree?
Yes, and that's like an underrated red flag.
And no one talks about it, but like if you have different people at your birthday party every single year,
That's
scary.
a really
Scary.
underrated red flag.
Scary.
Scary. For the guy,
We are so off topic.
no, but we're on topic at the same time. For the guy that was hooking up with the 72-year-old, I would prescribe Call Me By Your Name.
Oh yes, incredible movie by the way.
Yes. Back to my favorite. That movie ruined my life and changed my life at
incredible.
the same time.
Incredible. Why did
I've
it ruin
seen
your
it
life?
once. I don't think I've ever seen it again because I want that. I want an older lover in Italy. Like, that was the dream. Timothy Chalamet was living the dream.
So true.
Like, that was just awesome. They were, like, going on trips together. His parents were like, we love you for you. Like, it was in the 80s. I was like, what is happening? But yes, back to the girl who was blacking out. I prescribe a drink that you love.
I would prescribe a Cosmo drink
Yes.
and also a subscription to Cosmopolitan.
Yes. Okay, you know how I have my tense up thing?
Yes, tense up.
You have your...
Oh, is that my thing?
Yeah, that's your thing. That's like how I'll never forget the first time I saw you at Tommy. You looked at me, you went like this. I was like, oh, she's so cool.
You're like, who is that? So
My-
cute.
My friend group and all my friendships are with people 6 to 8 years older than me, which I love, but sometimes I do feel I need to act my age. I'm fresh out of college. Where do I find these 20-somethings?
Okay, I would prescribe Now and Then, the movie. Have you seen it?
No.
It's like about a friends group and they start off as elementary school and it's like how their lives change. Really special.
Okay, I've never seen it. I would prescribe...
Or Sister to the Traveling
Traveling Pants,
Pants.
that's what I was going to say! I'm
So
not
good.
kidding, that's what I was going to say!
Oh, that was cute for us.
That was the first time that's ever happened.
Really?
Yes, that's never happened. I was literally about to say Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
So good.
It's been 3 months since the breakup, and I swear I will never get over this man. We dated for a year and a half. It feels like he's already moved on to IDK what to do.
Breakups are hard. Listen to Gracie Abrams, eat ice cream, watch a shit ton of movies, honestly. Start a new TV show. I would start The Traitors, honestly.
Throw yourself into media to take your mind off of it.
Like, get into a series. Like, honestly.
Get into a series, get into something, get into, honestly, if you've never dove deep into Taylor Swift's work, like that's like 12 albums deep worth of it. Like you're in for a treat and a documentary or two. And like, you'll also feel less bad about being so dramatic about this because she normalizes being really dramatic.
Yeah, totally.
And I would say throw yourself into art or something that you can just like enter a different world.
Totally, I agree.
What Taylor Swift songs do you relate to the most?
Red, August, incredible. I mean, she is really an amazing songwriter. Like, truly.
Like, I could go on.
What's
Have
your
you
favorite
ever-
song?
The Archer.
The Archer's good. I did go to the Eras tour.
You did.
Because anyone is wondering.
I was wondering, which show did you see?
New Jersey?
Which night?
Night 1.
So you got Getaway Car.
Yes, I got Getaway Car.
The fact that I know that is
It's crazy.
so wild. You got Getaway Car and you got I forget what the other one was. but
August.
I think it was Maroon.
Yes, it was Maroon. You're right. August was the night after, and I was like,
Because I remember I was in Singapore, and it was the first time she ever did Maroon, and Maroon is my favorite fucking song from Midnights besides Mastermind. And she did Getaway Car in Maroon, and then that same weekend she also released You're Losing Me. It was a good weekend it was like a good weekend to see the Eras tour.
it was truly amazing what she accomplished. And like, I don't know, We Are Never Getting Back Together, like that song at the Eras tour was like healing. Like I was just like, I feel like I'm like 12 again.
For me, it was 'Tis the Damn Season, and I only saw it once, and it changed my life. That is like my favorite song off Evermore.
You know what? Another song was really good live was Wildest Dreams.
So good.
Like it hits so hard.
So good. Or like The Archer really hit, obviously, for me. But Lover really hit for me.
Lover's beautiful song.
I love that song, no pun intended. And I love when she would perform, when she did Marjorie. I love like the Folklore Evermore set.
It's amazing.
I could go on.
Wait, do you want to say what's behind you?
Oh, hold on, let me grab it for everyone. Willa brought me a gift. This is
From the archives.
Taylor Swift's 2012, so Red Era.
Yeah.
Cosmopolitan cover.
Wait, go to the Cosmo quiz. It's so freaking cool that she did a Cosmo quiz.
Oh my God, crazy for a Kennedy. Taylor Swift, age 34. The fact that in the Red Era, Taylor's publicist allowed her to go on a cover with the words late night sex, make it hot, make it happen is so crazy to me. Because, like, she was so, like, careful back in those days. She wasn't talking about sex. Oh my God, the Wonderstruck perfume! You're kidding.
Yeah.
I
No,
have
this is like
perfume.
truly amazing.
This is like, wait, if there is, when they would be like scratch and sniff?
Yes.
This is crazy.
No, but isn't it? It's like a historical piece of.
Do you want to, do you feel as though a lot of people would say print is dying? What do you think?
No, print is, it's part of the whole ecosystem of Cosmo. It's not the only thing we do, but it's part of it. And I do think, especially like this. Oh my God.
Charlize
amazing.
Theron for J'adore of Dior.
Amazing.
Like,
Dior.
she was really that cover girl for the longest time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm finding this Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah, no worries. We got all the time in the world.
We do have
but it's so cool. And I brought back the Cosmo quiz in the new issue. So I was very inspired by we have Rihanna's, we have Taylor's, it's great. We have Zendaya. It's so freaking cool.
Oh my God, this is Lady Gaga's Fame perfume. God,
Are you
this is
excited
a
for
time
the
capsule?
Yeah. I'm dying to know.
Oh my God. Yup. There's a Wonderstruck.
Try it.
Oh my God.
Do you have this fragrance?
I used to.
Oh my God, it's going to bring back old memories. Wow.
Oh my God. It's exactly what I remember.
Isn't it crazy that smell can bring that back?
Oh my God.
It's yours to keep forever, this whole issue.
Brett is going to be so jealous. She's going to come home and smell it until her nose falls off. I'm trying to find this quiz. Oh my God, Silver Linings Playbook, Jessica Simpson.
Oh my God, Silver Linings Playbook. I remember
Slim
that.
and sexy all over.
Yes.
Oh my God, why skipping breakfast backfires? Yeah, checks out.
But basically the Cosmo quiz is this iconic franchise. It's you come, you do the Cosmo quiz. And it was my first day. I said to the staff, I was like, we're bringing this back.
Wait, so what do you, whoever's on the cover does this quiz?
No, this one, you can see Sholo from Cobra Kai did it.
Uh-huh.
Not out yet, so leaking it here on Jake Shade's podcast. But it's cool.
What does the Cosmo quiz consist of?
It's fun questions.
Sorry, I'm oh my God. Talk about a throwback.
Wow.
BB? You don't remember? Oh my God, Southern Queen. Oh, I don't know, but you don't remember BB? God, this brings me back. Zoe Deschanel, hi Queen.
Wow, love Zoe.
I love Zoe. Pink.
If you could have anyone from on your podcast ever in the entire world, who is it?
I always say besides Taylor Swift.
Oh, besides Taylor Swift.
Besides Taylor Swift, because that's the always answer.
I wonder if she'll do it. She'll do it.
She doesn't do interviews.
She might. She loves her fans.
I love her. Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
I want Jennifer Lawrence on so bad.
Wow.
I love Jennifer Lawrence. Ever since Jennifer Lawrence stepped foot on that Oscars red carpet in that red Calvin Klein dress. Do you remember that?
Of course.
I was a changed person. What was she? She was there for a Winter's Bone. And she stepped, and I remember I was an avid Fashion Police watcher, and I had never seen Joan Rivers say anything nice about anyone ever. And all they did for like 10 minutes straight was talk about how incredible Jennifer Lawrence looked.
Amazing.
And it was just like, it changed me.
It's amazing. It's a cool one.
I love Jennifer Lawrence. If you could have anyone on the cover, who would you want?
I want Bella Swan making out with Edward Cullen.
Again?
No,
you want them to do, like you want them
together,
to reprise their
group
roles?
cover, like, I would lose my mind. I would pass out.
They both don't age at all. Kristen Stewart and
Robert
Pattinson don't age. It's like the craziest thing to me. Okay.
I still think that they're gonna end up together.
Endgame?
Like, I'm just like, it's Endgame.
I also feel that way. That's how I felt about Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron.
Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin are Endgame. You know what I mean?
Well, how
it's
long
like,
have they known each other for? Did they get into that?
yeah, it's all in there, baby. You gotta read it. Check it out online. Follow Cosmo on Instagram. No, take your sweet time.
I have awful time management and I need help. Send help, please. No, seriously, tell me your ways. I mean, I don't have ways for time management. So do you? You need time management because you're a writer. So how do you manage your time?
Honestly, my journal. I really will be 20 minutes this, 20 minutes this is what I'm doing. I really plan out my days to a T. Honestly, you need to be journaling and you need to be putting boundaries on things.
Okay. I can't. I have the worst time management of all time.
Yeah, and try not to go to sleep on your phone. Honestly, it's really not great for your brain.
Why? I mean, I don't even need to know why. I assume it's asking why smoking is bad for you, but yeah.
It's not good for you creatively. I'm gonna try. I mean, it was my New Year's resolution that I haven't done, but I really want to try to sleep in my phone in the other room or something.
Wait, I also the other day was thinking I really want to sleep with it far away.
Yeah.
But I got a new phone the other day. I got the new iPhone. Something inside me was don't undownload your old phone yet. Don't undownload everything. Surprise, surprise, you can't download TikTok from the App Store anymore. So I can only use TikTok on my old phone. So now I sleep with two phones next to me.
Wow, yeah. So
I need help.
I also need help with my phone. I really I really think I just have a strong pull.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, I've never been more addicted to anything ever in my entire life. I live on that thing. I live on the serotonin. Every notification rings me. I feel phantom rings. God.
What's the longest you've been not on your phone? Your flight the other day?
Not long.
Yeah.
Not long. I'm so addicted to it. When I'm touring and when I'm working, I'll get off my phone at 5 p.m. and go back on at 10.
Totally.
I use my phone for stimulation. I feel very unstimulated because your phone is so overstimulating, like a drug, right? So your phone is like a drug. And drugs make normal life feel unstimulating because they overstimulate you. So because my phone overstimulates me so much, I feel so understimulated by life.
Yeah, I relate to that. I feel something that I hear from a lot of Cosmo readers are I am more connected than we've ever been online, but the loneliness is something I hear constantly from readers. I answer questions on TikTok and I put them in the magazine and always loneliness. They're just my phone makes me so lonely.
We are in a loneliness epidemic, and I think it's really... I think that's why Brat had such a moment this summer.
Bring it home.
Because it really, brought people together.
Yeah, I agree.
It really did. I described Brat as a party that everyone was invited to. It was the coolest party in the world that everyone was invited to.
Yeah.
And we are in a loneliness epidemic, which is why sad music prevails, but it's also why... there's moments like Brat that happen.
I completely agree. And I also think that is another thing that excites me about Cosmo. It's if we can actually bring people together and make people feel less alone, we've done our jobs. And your podcast that too.
Right. It's we're all alone together.
Exactly.
Oh, I
That's
hate
why
feeling lonely. It's the worst feeling in the
It's a
entire
really
world.
hard emotion. I agree. It really is. It's but you're on your phone, so you're I'm with 8 million people.
And I'm not alone. I think that's why I love touring so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. But the hardest part about touring, the hardest part is not like getting on the bus after, like getting in your room after, because you know you're going to do it again. It's when it ends.
Wow.
And you get home and you're like, what? Like, you know, like everything has just been so overstimulating for so long. Oh my God, I've used that word like 4 times. But like it's just such a shift. And I think that's why a lot of people tour for so long, because like they can't not do it.
Yeah, a lot of people always say, artists will always be like, it's so hard to come back from touring because you're just like in a different world.
Yeah, like, well, people are like,
Jake!
they're there to see you, and it's like such a confidence boost.
And then that's why you go to the Tommy Hilfiger show.
Oh, seriously? Like, I'm not even kidding. I'll never forget that night as long as I live. I'd never been to a fashion show. I never expected any of that to happen. And also, it was so cool. It was at Grand Central.
Yeah, Oyster
Didn't
Bar.
John Baptiste performed?
Yes, John Baptiste performed, but also the Oyster Bar was so freaking cool.
It was so cool. Tommy always says such cool. Did you go to the one on the boat?
Yeah.
So cool.
Love the boat one.
So cool.
What's like your dream fashion show to go to?
Prada.
Yeah, Prada's amazing.
You know we've talked about Prada.
Yeah.
You, by the way, you were like, Prada's so it. And I went, remember, Louise? I went to you and I was like, Willa says Prada's it. Do you remember that? I do love
Prada.
Prada, and I love their new campaign with Harris Dickinson.
So good. Wow, you're plugged in.
A little bit. I'm a little bit plugged in. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I really think Miu Miu's kind of having a moment.
Incredible. It looks amazing on you.
Thank you so much.
Tell me if I'm wrong. You look amazing in Miu Miu.
I love this. I bought this in Europe, and
He bought this last night because I was coming here.
Yeah, I did. And I never thought about my outfit more until today. I came in with an outfit, and Louise was like, you and your color mismatch never fails to unimpress me.
You look amazing. I love it.
But yeah, I'd die to go to a Prada show. I just think it would be so cool. I love Prada.
Manifest it.
Manifest
Put it in the
it.
journal.
Yeah, like a Prada show in like Paris. That would be so cool.
Slay.
That would make my life. I just want to see Harris Dickinson in person, and I know he'll be there. I love him. My best friend's boyfriend is a total buzzkill. He is boring and has no flavor and kills the fun. She is obsessed with him, and they have been dating for years. Do I tell her I hate him? Yes.
I think there's a way to do it, though.
Okay, tell me.
I think I would be like, hey, I want to like have a conversation about how I feel about your boyfriend. These are the things he does, of why I don't like him. I don't like, if it's anything to do with like how they treat your best friend, oh my God, immediate red flag. But I think it's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think going in being like, I hate you is like, that person is just going to isolate you. Don't you think?
Yeah.
And then you lose your best friend too? No, it's like they're dating. This is a dynamic you have to.
Sorry, I just cut you off.
Oh, go.
I also think that they have to figure it out on their own sometimes, which
Agreed.
sucks. So I prescribe the episode Panic in Central Park from Girls.
Amazing.
When Marnie sees her ex, Charlie, and realizes that she should not be with Desi anymore. Because everybody hates Desi. The entire time, everyone's like, Desi is the worst, Desi is the worst. Marnie literally doesn't listen. And it takes this like entire episode of self-exploration for her to discover herself that she should not be with him. You cannot convince it's just like, it's so not worth it sometimes, I feel like, because like they're never, yes, you should tell them, but they have to figure it out on their own every time.
I agree. And you want to just make sure like you're still in your friend's ear and like helping them navigate it and see it for themselves, rather than just being like, no, then it's like, then you're just out of the equation.
100%.
I'm trying to think of like a romance novel or something, but
There surely is a Sex and the City episode that relates to this.
No, definitely. I feel like there's so many also rom-coms that are like but the friends are always right.
Friends are always right.
Yeah. Which
Always.
you said too.
And I'm always the friend, so I'm always right.
Jake Shane's always right.
Well, that was our last Tell Me What's Wrong.
Oh my God.
Did you have fun?
I had so much fun. I've literally just been hanging out with this guy.
Oh, that's Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
That's Joe Jonas named him Patrick. I was like, no, normally it's a play on puss. He was like, no, it's Patrick. And I was like, got it, cool. Well, Willow, what did we learn today?
I learned that you're so funny and nice and amazing. And
yeah,
I'm just so honored to be here. And you love fashion shows.
I do love fashion shows. I learned a lot more about you. And I thought I already knew a lot about you, but I learned a lot more about you. I learned a lot about your work ethic and how important fashion is to you and how, in what sense it's important to you.
Oh, love you. Thank you for having me, truly.
Of course.
Always, write for us anytime.
I love you.
We love you.
I love you.
Tense up.
Tense up. Say bye, pussies. Love you.
He's got you on the hook. He's slaying and he's shook. It's Therapuss, Therapuss.